This is a huge team here.
Oregon's got 3 7-footers to contend with for UConn, although the freshman Clingan for UConn is 7'2" himself.
And he's a full 7'2". I stood with him.
See what happens when you take your eyes off the ball, it almost hit you.
I've sat in this chair before. A lot of
the
things.
Specific one?
Yes, this is a special chair for me here that they keep in Portland for me. I am the luckiest guy in the world. Beautiful ball movement. Now, Clingan is playing that high post as they should.
Sandiara way off from 3.
Ball River. Not sure if they're doing much rafting down there.
Outstanding defense from Donovan Clingan for UConn.
Okay, you got numbers. Space the floor. Hit the big man coming up behind the play.
Jordan Hawkins 3. Timeout Oregon.
Dana Altman has seen enough. Don't you go anywhere, though, because we've got Phil Knight coming on the air when we come back from these most important messages from our valuable sponsors here.
And look at the block first. That leads to the 3.
Now, Clingan just so big, so strong, doesn't even leave the ground. They're pushing the ball. Quick trigger by Jordan Hawkins. Wow. There's some tall dudes out there.
There are. For you to say there's some tall dudes out there.
It's not how big you are, it's how big you play. Great defense by Clingan.
And then
Do that. Whoa, great defense, Clingan. Look at him run the floor and get him the ball.
Hawkins again.
Clingan, that guy, good.
And the putback, Donovan Clingan. First points for the 7'2" freshman from our headquarters. He's from Bristol, Connecticut.
Right, and they wanted him to go to some different prep schools, but his mom was a high school star in the town when she played, and he wanted to stay and break all his mom's records, and he did. Nice job there, Donovan Clingan. A brief interaction with Donovan and with Adama Sanogo before the game, and it was very cool to see these young people. And look at the posture of Donovan Clingan. And then compare and contrast that to Kalel Ware when Kalel Ware comes back in the game. Not quite sure why he's on the bench right now, but the Portland area schools here, PK85.
And the slam! Donovan Clingan for UConn. The largest lead for the Huskies.
This is a clinic. Dan Hurley's got it going. Huskies just barking away. The ball movement, dump it into the post. 2-3 guys come at the ball. They just swing it to the weak side, and they wisely spot up guys who are willing to let it fly from there. UConn is playing beautiful basketball. Coming off that faux screen, and when you got that kind of length and timing and skill, and Joey can deliver the ball perfectly, time and time again, and Fali Dante has been caught in no man's land. But sitting here, guards have all played, and everybody has made a huge contribution. And when you get the big guy, Donovan Clingan, coming in and doing a remarkable job and sending another one back, and the way that all these guards...
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. It's the best place to get everything you need for the holidays.
Wow, the legendary opponents. Kareem, the greatest I ever played against. Dave Cowan's the second greatest center I ever played against.
How about that shirt? You still have it?
I still have that, yes.
45 years ago.
Was it 45? I can't do that math. It's a tough calculation for me.
That's your UCLA.
That was a great team, one of the greatest teams ever. The youngest team to ever win the championship in the history of the NBA. Oldest guy on the team was 24, Maurice Lucas. And all the guys, all their numbers, there's Maurice, his number's retired. My wife Lori is out with Maurice's widow tonight. Pam is the incredible Angels of Mercy. Bobby Gross's number is retired. Lionel Holland's number is retired. Dave Torzik, Lloyd Neal, Larry Steele. Walked in through the Harry Glickman, the media center. And Harry Glickman is the man responsible for bringing the great Blazer franchise to this Rose City. 1970, Bill Schonely, the greatest Blazer of them all. Shocked. All right, there's Harry right there. I was his worst nightmare, too. Harry, sadly, just passed away recently.
I want to know what person you weren't their worst nightmare for.
That's
a short list. That's a short list.
It's a short list, but it's a long list of the people who I was.
At the line, Donovan Clingan for UConn.
This guy Clingan is the best I've ever seen him play.
You've seen him play before?
No, but he's just, he moves, he thinks, and he reacts, and he's light on his feet, and he's huge. He makes Kalel Ware look like a normal-sized player.
Shot clock issue, that's why the stoppage there.
But look at the difference in posture of the big man Clingan with his big, broad shoulders.
At least 7'2", and he's 265 pounds. He's a large kid.
And he's
Ware
just
at 7 feet, but he's only 220 pounds.
He's just a freshman, Clingan. And Ware's shoulders are still slumping, but look at the hands.
Nate Biddle coming over with the block.
There's three really big dudes out there today.
Clingan's made it difficult tonight. He's really taken and following Dante out of this game for the most part.
9 years as a journalist, and then he said, I want to be the SID. He's just incredible force of nature. Great defense by Clingan.
In the game for Oregon, the transfer from Regis University in Colorado. Dante lost it going up.
Look at Clingan. I mean, this guy has worked it tonight. Takes an offensive foul, still blocks the shot, garners it in a la Akeem Olajuwon. But the guy who really looks good tonight is Clingan. Clingan and Ware.
There he is, sealing. But the block from James Cooper, and then a foul will put UConn at the line.
3 different guys blocked those shots. What's the record for the most number of people on the same block?
I don't know if all 5 guys on the floor have ever blocked a shot together.
I bet it's happened. I might have been there.
May have. Here's Clingan at the line.
I need a voodoo donut.
We've got some in the back.
We do? I thought we were supposed to give one to Phil tonight.
We still can. Phil's sitting right over here.
Nurse. Medic.
Sub for the Ducks and first appearance this season. Luke Moore, who's in the game.
I think during the break, the transition from this game to Alabama, Michigan State, that we should all just make a quick trip to McMenamins.
For a quick bite.
Get healed. Beautiful.
Donovan Clingan again for UConn.
This guy's a ball player who happens to have a lot of size and strength and length, long arms, and ball screens.
Way off on the 3.
You just keep going there. He was honored this year as the Person of the Year by the Maurice Lucas Foundation in their annual gala that's always sold out. Now raises millions and millions of dollars for the underserved youth here in the Portland community. This guy right here, Donovan Clingan, man.
You like him?
I like a lot of the guys in this game. I mean, it's so reassuring. You know, when you hope for something and then that hope actually manifests itself, that's what life's all about, Roxy. Just keep making your shot.
He's shooting right around 60% from 3 on this young season.
Clingan, big, powerful.
UConn gets out and runs. Alex Caravan, transition 3.
When you can bring in a Donovan Clingan, who at a full 7'2", who was a 2-time Connecticut State Player of the Year at Bristol Central High School. What an incredible recruiting and building job. The steady improvement of the Huskies and Dan Hurley.
And a foul committed by the Huskies. 10 straight points for UConn.
They completely
Jackson Jr. that time. Here is Clingan on the offensive end, though. 14 in a row for UConn.
A stunning turn of events here. UConn, the most successful program in the last 23 years, if you're counting championships. Offensive foul.
Illegal screen on Noah Clowney, and it's all falling apart here for Alabama.
And how are they going to get it turned around? This is where the leadership, in transition after the anticipation, a la James Worthy in that passing lane, the pursuit, the incredible explosiveness, and then Jordan Hawkins. This is a pure scorer, Jordan Hawkins. And then Clingan, down low, just size, strength, power. I mean, he's just pushing Noah Gurley right out of the way. They expect to win it convincingly. Clingan, just such a presence inside.
And an offensive foul, a clear out on Charles Bediako. Second foul on Bediako, and UConn taking control.
I'm stunned. What I've witnessed here, Alabama last night looked like they invented the game. UConn is totally dominated here. Nice here. And today we had the drip, 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 the drip of the constant rain.
Speaking of the drip, 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 how does Alabama stop it from UConn over the top to Donovan Clingan?
This game is going contrary to what I envisioned coming in. Because
knocked away by Quinterly.
Transition though, but Clingan is just, wow.
The second three for Brandon Miller on the step back.
He just has that ability to freeze the big man coming in.
Andre Jackson Jr. missing a good look. And there is Donovan Clingan and a foul committed by Bama.
Great defense, Andre Jackson. Great defense, Joey Calcaterra.
And now he's called for a foul, the first on Calcaterra.
Clingan is just tremendous. To go to UConn, play with this squad.
Donovan Clingan reaching up above everybody to get it back for UConn.
Clingan and Caravan are so important to this squad, just off the mark.
Bodies go crashing out of bounds. Bama ball.
So Clingan was the two-time Connecticut Player of the Year. His best friend in high school, Victor Rosa, was the state football player of the year for the same high school, Bristol Central. They're now both roommates at UConn. Nothing like your best friend from college and your college roommate.
Out of bounds.
The defensive skills of these players just superb. Send it back! Oh! Donovan Clingan. I look forward to the day, though, when Donovan, who's just a freshman in college, just go up there and grab it with one hand. That's what Wilt used to do. Just take the ball out of the air with one hand and hold it and start the fast break going the other way if he wasn't going to dribble it himself. But Clingan is driving the ball away from the basket. And Clingan must be the strongest person in the history of the world.
He is 7'2", 265.
Well, Bediako's 7 feet tall, please.
But he's also, Bediako's given up about 50 pounds to Clingan.
So is almost everybody else on earth, with the exception of Yao Ming. Every single time out. Great post-entry pass. Clingan just too strong, too good. Bonnie Stars on this year's Iowa State team.
Jaron Holmes also coming.
Beautiful passing
from St.
Caravan.
Caravan can't get the roll. There's the 7'2" freshman, Donovan Clingan, the putback.
A freshman who plays like a 4-year NBA veteran. Who's ever coached him in his life has done a marvelous job. I know his mom was a huge star back in Bristol, Connecticut. You ever been there?
I have been to Bristol, Connecticut.
Beautiful.
Have you?
Center of the universe. They don't give up penetration. They don't give up deep jumpers.
Well, challenge shot. Last touch by Iowa State. It stays at this end with the Huskies.
And Donovan Clingan continues to just amaze in every aspect. He plays without fouling, like Zach Edey. Although I think that Zach's got 2 full inches I have yet to stand next to Zach Edey. I've stood next to Donovan Clingan. That's a big dude.
You were looking up at him.
Yes, I'm 6'11". I'm only 6'11". He's 7'2". Yao Ming, 7'13".
And also about 7'13" wide, too.
The biggest human being that I've ever been next to. The nicest human being I've ever been next to. As smart a human being as I've ever been next to. Yao Ming. We miss you, Yao. Come on back.
Foul on Gabe Kalsher of Iowa State, and Donovan Clingan will head to the line here for the Huskies. So Clingan, the 7'2" freshman, two-time Connecticut Gatorade Player of the Year. He's had a strong tournament for UConn.
He's a basketball player who happens to be very tall. Wisconsin, where Dick Bennett was coaching and Tony was playing.
Donovan Clingan pulls down the rebound.
Shun has got to turn and face against Clingan. You can't play back to your basket. Traveling violation.
Here's the first three-point attempt for Iowa State. Rebound, Kalsher.
Outlet. Push the ball, Joey.
Pull up three.
Clingan.
Foul going for the rebound. Will stay down here, says Vern Harris.
He invites the players over to his house one night a week for a team dinner. Look at that stroke. This is a real athlete, a real basketball player who just happens to be 7'2".
Largest lead for UConn as Clingan has 5 points off the bench.
Donovan, don't press in the backcourt. Just get back and deny everything within 18 feet. To learn that his coaches treated him so poorly. His own
Clock winding down. A three is off from Hassan Diarra, but on the offensive glass, Donovan Clingan one more time will head to the stripe.
Everything going UConn's way. Defensively, the Cyclones are having trouble finding the range, with the exception of Shun.
Second foul on Jazz Kuntz.
On offense, the Huskies have been able to move beyond Sanogo not carrying the team as he did in the middle game. Who was the middle game against for them? UConn. Alabama?
That was Friday evening, yes.
Okay. But when Clingan comes in, it changes everything for them. He's so big. He's so good.
The rebound, Jazz.
Because far too many guys come up and just want to lob it in with a slow, soft pass. It doesn't work. You got to make the sharp, crisp passes. And when you got Clingan who can catch everything, you got Sanogo who's superb with strong, good hands, and they can both finish.
Jaron Holmes to the basket, missed the lay-in. And here comes Hassan Diarra for UConn.
They're still thinking about Clingan. He's on the bench now.
Caravan short on the three.
Or come up the court and see that Clingan's on the bench and just drive it.
And just start to the basket.
I'm going to give Donovan Clingan the ultimate compliment. He reminds me of a young Bill Walton. Rebounds with two hands, keeps it high, finishes around the basket, runs the floor. Now he's going to get that pass in. Bill Walton, I see a young you in Donovan Clingan.
In which one? I can't hear you.
Donovan Clingan.
Donovan Clingan.
Oh, Donovan Clingan. Beautiful player. A guy who seems to have been playing basketball since birth. He's just mobile, smooth, has size, and a sense of anticipation. Never brings the ball down. He's had excellent coaching.
You didn't answer the question.
What was the question? I couldn't
Seth
hear.
wanted to know if you see a young Bill Walton in Donovan Clingan.
I see a young Donovan Clingan.
Okay. Do you see comparisons to the way you used to play with Donovan?
He's a lot taller than I am. How old is he? He's a freshman. Okay.
He's 3 inches taller than you are.
He's doing great. And I'm very proud of him. I'm very happy for him. He sits on the bench too much.
I think he's getting a chuckle out of our conversation.
Is he wearing one of those earpieces that Conrad Holly was wearing?
You'll have to ask him.
Hopefully he can hear better than I can hear. The guy with the ball in his hands. Kalsher. Intimidation by Clingan.
And a tie-up underneath.
UConn has been the better team. You got to have somebody who's going to take control of this game. And the guards, Clingan continues to deny everybody. This is a guard come alive. And I haven't seen that yet.
On the take, rattles off from Robert Jones, and UConn comes away with it.
Clingan defends without fouling. Intimidates the shot, turns and gets the rebound.
He's such a presence, Bill, at 7'2", and he takes up so much space.
And the other guys who are playing against him don't turn and face him. Over the top, throw it down, big man. Andre Jackson. Wow. On his way to being the most outstanding player for the entire tournament, the invitational bracket. Doesn't even put the ball down, just knows, he feels, he senses, he can feel the air moving toward him when the two cyclones come his way. And he knows his teammate, Donovan Clingan, just a freshman, is coming to throw it down and knock the free throws down. What a talent. And what shoulders.
Throw. He's got 11 points now to lead the Huskies.
Look at his shoulders, too. I mean, this is a freshman in college. I only wish. Whoa,
offensive foul on Huskies. UConn has matched their largest lead of the night. And a travel committed by Jaron Holmes.
Intimidation, Donovan Clingan. Don't bring that weak stuff in here, and don't come in here and turn your back to me. I'm not going for pump fakes. And why should he? What's a pump fake going to do against Donovan Clingan? Just stand there. I remember the first time I played against Mark Eaton, and I threw like 4 or 5 fakes, and the guy never even responded to the first one. The future on display today. A freshman from Bristol, Connecticut. His mom, a record-setting player. His ability to close out on the perimeter. His ability to get that ball and just stick it right back in. Balance, quickness, anticipation, using the gifts that he has, the hard work that he's put in to be in the kind of physical condition he is, and just a young man. What's that on the left right there?
That was a young little Billy Walton.
Wow. Huh.
Both wearing number 32, by the way.
With hair. Yeah.
Earlier, Seth Greenberg made the comparison.
Well, it's not fair. I had every advantage that anyone's ever had in the history of the world. You can get that one whenever you want. Beautiful back cut. Throw it down, Clingan. That's basketball. Iowa State's up against it here. 84 points in a college game. Oh my gosh. And then I was his teammate later on. Clingan.
And the follow slam by Hassan Ward.
Come on, where are the guards rotating in defensively to help Clingan? He helps you all the time. And you stand there and watch while the other team comes in and throws it down. Thank goodness they got a 14-point lead here. Dan Hurley's going to pull his hair out over there. Whenever the Huskies needed anything, somebody delivered. Andre Jackson, more so than any of them. The hand held high on the follow through. And then coming through, here's the defensive intimidation and no rotation whatsoever. Will somebody please block out? What's going on here? How can this be?
MVPs
okay.
from today.
Okay.
Aaliyah Edwards from UConn. Zach Edey from Purdue.
Okay.
And who's going to win it here?
My vote is going to go for Andre Jackson or Clingan. But
State. Lipsy.
They're going to give Clingan MVP, I'm told.
Another rebound for Donovan Clingan. Double-double for Andre Jackson Jr. 10 points, 13 rebounds. Big night for Donovan Clingan, and the UConn Huskies win the Phil Knight Invitational Championship.
Impact, control, winning basketball, the team game. Congratulations, UConn. Don't give up, Iowa State. You're coming together. Your day will come. Thank you, Phil Knight. Happy birthday. Oregon, let's go. Time to rock. The rivers are still flowing. The liquid sunshine is still coming down.
A fantastic weekend of basketball. We wrap it up in Portland. UConn wins at 71-53 for Bill Walton and our crew. I'm Roxy Bernstein. Now we go